Over the last 2.5 years, I've purchased and reviewed dozens of different speculative crypto miners on this channel. In this video, I'm going to share exactly how I made $3,895 with all those miners in September of 2024. This is a monthly series where I track all my income from crypto mining and running crypto nodes, minus my current expenses such as electric and hosting costs, so I can share with you my net income for the month. Stay tuned because I have a refreshed ROI or return on investment analysis for every miner, which I'll share with you later in this video. For those of you that are new to this channel, first off, welcome. My name is Jason and this is Swan Crypto. Most of the miners we'll be reviewing today are depin miners, which stands for Decentralized Physical Infrastructure Network. It involves using blockchain technology and token incentives to build and maintain physical infrastructure and help solve real-world problems. Most of these devices are low cost and low power, making it very easy for home miners like you and I to get involved. We are heading into a historically very bullish period for crypto, the Q4 of a Bitcoin halving year, so we could be in for some fireworks here in the coming months. And several of the projects I'm going to mention today, I think could be some of the biggest winners of the depin sector. Now, before we get into these numbers, let me start off by saying I'm not sharing this with you to try to brag about how much money I'm making mining crypto each month. In reality, it's not very much anyways, yet. I make this video each month for you to keep you up to date on the profitability of every single miner I review for you on this channel. It takes me a long time to put this together, so if you learn anything from this video, all I ask is you hit that like button for me. I have these projects sorted from most to least profitable, and we'll give some high-level commentary over each. So my number one project for this month were my FLUX nodes, generating me a net $2,059 for the month. Now I have 2 Nimbus and 1 Stratus node, but the big income that came from FLUX nodes this month was the FLUX base snapshot claim that finally came in. For those who aren't familiar, FLUX has the snapshot claims. This is the 10th and final claim on the base blockchain. And there was a snapshot done at the end of October of last year, and we finally received the snapshot claim. So that's generating the vast majority of that net income from my FLUX nodes this month. I think that was worth about $1,800. I'll throw up a screenshot of my snapshot claim that I just claimed yesterday. Now, a couple notes about FLUX. I did make the decision yesterday. I did end up closing down my 1 Stratus node. The yield on these FLUX nodes really is not very good. I think it's about a 4% annual yield. And now that we're done with these snapshot claims, I've made the decision to sell off some of my FLUX and reallocate it into some more promising projects. The FLUX token really has not performed very well so far this bull market, so I'm really trying to reallocate some of my capital into some faster horses for this bull market. Coming at number 2 is my phone farm, generating me a total of $191 for the month. You can see the Varus coin had a huge month this month, up 117%. Actually did a 1-year update on my phone farm about 2 weeks ago, and then about 2 days after I posted that video, we saw the Varus coin just take off and more than double in price. So the good news is I've now ROI'd on my phone farm in just over a year now. So that is great to see. If you want to check out that video, I will link that in the description. Number 3 project for the month is my HIFIX space weather station. This mines the Geo token, generating me $181 for the month. For those who aren't familiar, this is essentially an antenna and a receiver you put on your roof, and it helps to increase the accuracy of GPS signals across the globe. There's a lot of real-world use cases for this. This project's actually starting to bring in some real money, and I'm really excited about this project. If we go to my historical earnings, right now the max earnings is 24 Geo tokens per day. I earn a little less than that because I have some trees around my house, which degrade my earnings a little bit, but right now I'm earning about 22.75 tokens per day. They did just have a halving here at the end of June, so prior to that, it was earning 48 tokens per day. And this project has an annual halving, so each year the max rewards get cut in half. So a couple items of note about HIFIX this month. They did just announce a partnership with Wingbits, which is another project we are involved with on this channel, which I'll cover later in this video. It's essentially a flight tracking app, so it's exciting that they've announced that partnership. Another big item they've noted this month, they're bringing more and more income into this project, and now they've burned a total of 7.8 million Geo tokens to date. And I think that's just over the past year or so. Another item to note with HIFIX, I actually bought some Geo tokens this month personally, just as a long-term investment for me. And it's one of the first ever depin tokens that I actually mine, that I actually bought as an investment. It kind of just shows how bullish I am on this project. I think we could see some tremendous upside on this project over the coming years, just because this is one of the few depin projects or crypto projects overall that's actually bringing in real world money and solving real world problems. So I'm very bullish on Geode long term, and I'll probably do an update video on this again soon, just because I think this project is still not on people's radar, but it is really an exciting use case at this point. All right, number 4 is my WeatherXM weather station. I have this mounted on my roof as well. This is a weather station that you're in crypto. They're trying to build a decentralized weather network. Generating $96 for the month. Now this does include my beta rewards, so my rewards are slightly higher than if you were to purchase a WeatherXM weather station now. We've also been on this project for about 2.5 years since they initially announced their beta about 2.5 years ago. So it's nice. This project just went live several months ago. I ended up selling a lot of my tokens, I think 2 months ago, to recoup my costs. So now all these earnings are just gravy and profits each month. So I'll probably continue to sell some tokens, but we'll also keep a bag of WeatherXM tokens just in case we see some good upside in this project. Number 5 for the month is HiveMapper. This has been a disappointing one, I know, for a lot of us over these last several months. Generating me $73 for the month. The honey token was basically flat for this month. If we go to my earnings, you can see my monthly rewards were up a little bit this month. So I generated 1,100 honey tokens for the month. So it's nice it was up versus August. I think this was largely driven. My wife did several long drives with the kids this month. So I think that helped to generate some higher rewards for me. But they made some big changes to the reward structure. Earlier this year, you could see back in January, February, and March, I was earning so many tokens per month. I was actually just driving around just to map, doing active mapping, which I know the project frowns upon, but it was making some really good money. At the beginning of this year, we were making $3,000-$4,000 a month. So obviously disappointing that the rewards have gone down so bad due to some of the changes in the reward structures that they've made. I made a video on that several months ago if you want to learn more about that. A couple items to note about HiveMapper. They did, sounds like they're delaying the deliveries of the bee. Initially, they had said that they were going to deliver them starting in Q3. And as far as I'm aware, they have not started shipping those yet. They did write this article last month that essentially said they've got to make some upgrades to the bee due to some requests from some fleets. So that is disappointing that it sounds like these bees are not getting shipped yet, even though they had promised to start shipping them in Q3. They did announce they're doing an event on the bee in December, but hopefully people can start receiving their bees well before then. I know this has been disappointing for people that have been waiting on their HiveMapper bee for almost 9 months now. Number 6, we have my DIMO data miners. I have 2 of these in 2 separate vehicles. Both these are level 4. We've also been in this project since the very beginning. It generated me just $61 for the month. You see the DIMO token was relatively flat this month. We go to my historical earnings. So right now, the number of tokens I'm earning each week are down about 1% each week. And really, that's driven by the growth of the DIMO network. As more and more cars join the network, your allocation of the total rewards pie gets cut as there's more people to receive the rewards. If we go up here to our historical ones, you can see back when this project was early, we were earning many more DIMO tokens per week. But as the project has grown, those rewards get decreased every week. Now, a couple other big announcements with DIMO. They did announce their new LTE device this month. I did a video on this a couple weeks ago. If you want to check that out, it's half the price of this DIMO AutoPie, but it will earn the same rewards. So it is available for pre-order now with shipment expected in December. Number 7 is Step-In. This is a move to earn project. I looked at my app. I've walked a total of over 1,700 miles in just over 2 years that I've been moving to earn for this project. So for this project, you basically just walk each day. I've been averaging, I think, over 15,000 steps every day for the past 2 years. It helps to keep me active, but obviously not a big winner and not something I would advise people to throw a bunch of money in, but it's been an interesting project and an excuse to keep me active. Number 8, we have my 3 iPolo G1 minis. These mine Grin. I've been solo mining these for about 2 years now. These are the last ASICs I have on at my house at this point. It was a quite lucky month finding 41 blocks solo mining Grin, which I think is by far the luckiest month I've had so far in the 2 years I've been solo mining these. I think generally I've been finding anywhere between 25 and 30 blocks per month, so I will take that as a nice little win this month. Number 9 are my Galaxis engines. I have 3 of these. I did a video on this earlier this year. Really poor performance for the Galaxis token this month, down 38%. The good thing is I did take some profits several months ago on Galaxis, but we are very far from breaking even on this project at this point. So we'll have to wait and see how this one turns out, as hopefully this bull market takes speed here in the next couple months and we can start to take some more profits on Galaxis. Number 10 is my streamer nodes. I have this staked on the streamer network. It generates a yield of about 28%, I think, per year. So, and it's no cost to stake on the streamer network. So generating me just over $34 for the month. Number 11, we have our Fry miners. I have 6 different Fry miners that did announce staking and verification go live this month. Go to my Fry Calc tab. Here are the daily earnings prior to this verification. Once I get this implemented here, those daily earnings should go up. I believe it's either double or triple the earnings. I'll have to double check that, but I'll be doing that here in the next couple days to get those verified and to increase those earnings going forward. I know Fry has been disappointing for a lot of us. The Fry token has really been in the dumps these past by 6 months now, where it's basically just been straight down every month. So very disappointing that the rewards have gone down so considerably for our Fry miners, but hopefully these can see a rebound here in the next couple months. Number 12, we have my pre-search nodes. This has also been a disappointing project. I think these tokens near bear market lows still. I did make the decision several months ago to sell off a good portion of my pre-search tokens just because of the poor performance of this token. I am still keeping 15 nodes running, and they are doing a monthly airdrop each month for pre-search node holders. So that helps contribute and help keep these things profitable at this point. Number 13, the Crank token. I have 4 devices mining Crank. Basically, you can many different IoT devices, previous Helium devices. I have my Match XM2 Pros on this. You can essentially flash this Crank software on them and reuse some unprofitable old miners to mine Crank. Crank token's also been a pretty poor performer ever since we got into this project a little over a year ago, but we'll continue to hold our Crank tokens, and hopefully this one will see a nice rebound as the IoT market and depin market takes off. Next, we have Mathmetrics. This is a drive to earn project. This one is still on testnet, so we don't have a real good value for this token yet. I'm using the token value I found on a DEX online. They did announce that they are transitioning from Solana to Peak, and they're waiting on the Peak network to go live here in the coming weeks, and then they should go live shortly after that. So it'll be interesting to see what the MMAP token value will be once that goes live. Number 15, the Deeper Connect Mini. This is decentralized VPN. I've been running this for about 2.5 years as well at home. The Deeper token really has not performed very well over these last 6 months either, and down 31% for the month. So a really poor month for the Deeper token. Number 16, we have GetGrass. This is a bandwidth sharing app. It's a Chrome extension you install. The good thing about this one is it is free, but you can see it just generated just under $4 for the month. You can see the token is down 92% for the month. This token price I got listed here, that's from a website called Whales Market, where you can buy and sell different tokens and points prior to them actually going live. They did announce that they're likely going live here in the next month or so. So we'll have to see what the price of this GetGrass token is once it actually goes live. Number 17, we have my Helium Bobcat IoT miners. I now have 3 of these down, so I need to troubleshoot those and see if I can get those back up and running, but basically earning almost nothing each month. Number 18, PiFi. This is a air quality sensor app. Generating just 81 cents for the month, so quite disappointing there. They did just go live a couple months ago. I did a video on that, so hopefully we'll see some better price action for the PiFi token in the coming months. Number 19, we have the XM miner. generating basically nothing for the month for me. I just have 135 gigabytes used of my 64 terabyte hard drive. I did announce some additional rebates for people that have been long supporters of this project. So we'll see if I can get some additional rebates for this project and help to generate some income from the XM miner going forward. Number 20, my Helium Bobcat 500. This is a 5G device. I saw my device was down this month. I need to troubleshoot this, but it's like 300 miles away from me. So I'll have to troubleshoot that and see if I can get that back up and running. But I know this wasn't earning very well. Anyways, in the last several months, I really probably need to switch my locations and find a more populated area to deploy this device. And then 21, the Solana Chapter 2. This is new Solana phone. No new airdrops for the Solana Chapter 2 this month. Solana Saga also had no new airdrops this month. So I purchased this device on the secondhand market from eBay back in January for $2,200. You can see as of today, the value of all those different airdrops is about $1,400. It's basically consists of a bunch of different meme tokens. So this is really my meme token exposure. So we'll continue to hold these, and hopefully we see much higher prices for a lot of these tokens to help hopefully pay off the cost of this Solana Saga phone. Number 23, we have Onocoy. This is very similar to GeoNet. This is such an antenna you put on your roof, and it helps to increase the accuracy of GPS data. So I have a splitter from one antenna on the roof. One goes to receiver, goes to GeoNet, one goes to Onocoy, and the third one goes to one of my fry miners. So I'm essentially triple mining with a single antenna. I did a video on that several months ago. Onocoy is not gone yet live, so we're still just earning these testnet Bono tokens. So 133 tokens earned for the month. They did have some big announcements this month. Their RTK went live, which means they'll start selling the data that they're collecting, similar to what Geode's doing. So it's, I think, a really promising project, and hopefully they go live here. I think they were planning for hopefully go live in Q4 sometime. So we'll be able to watch out for Onocoy, and I'll do an update video if they do make announcements go live, and we can do an analysis of the value of our Onocoy tokens once they go live. Number 24, Wingbits. This is also another testnet project. Like I mentioned earlier, this is flight tracking. They did a partnership with GeoNet for this month, so no value for these tokens yet. I looked, and my Wingbits device has been down this month, so I need to troubleshoot this and see if I can get that one back up and running. Number 25, Sorchain Mini. This one's exciting. They did announce this month that they are going live. They're doing their go live, I believe it's October 25th, with their token generation event on November 7th. So I did a video on this last week. Check that out if you want to learn more about Sorchain. This is a drive to earn project, very similar to DIMO. You plug it into your car and you earn tokens for driving, essentially. So it could be a good potential project. It's very cheap to get into, and I'm very excited about Sorchain. I think it's got some good potential, and especially with the success that we've seen out of DIMO over the last 2 years. Number 26, Starplug. They did announce they're doing their token launch sometime here in Q4. This is basically a smart plug where you can monitor the power usage of your smart plug. I'm kind of iffy on this project, but we'll see if we can get any value out of these star tokens that we're earning here in testnet when it does go live in Q4. Number 27, we have my XNET XP6 Pro. This is a data offloading device, essentially excess cell data. You get rewarded for capturing some of this data that people are consuming, and the cell companies will pay to offload this data onto different Wi-Fi networks. I did a video on this last month. Since I just deployed this in the last month, I have not yet received any earnings, but we'll keep a lookout, and I'll give an update on those earnings, and next month, hopefully, when we start to see earnings for this device. And then rounding out our list here are my Bitcoin miners. I have 6 SN19 Pro 110 terahash Bitcoin miners. I have these hosted with BitCap hosting. I've been doing this for about 2 years now, or maybe a year and a half now. You see these are unprofitable at this point. If we go to my Bitcoin mining chart, here's my earnings per day per miner. You can see several days for the month, they were offline due to the location that these are mined at. They had some outages in terms of power, where they had to shut down the mining facility. So I'll get essentially a rebate off my invoice each month to help offset that downtime. But unfortunately, these are unprofitable at this point. You can see here we're down $230 net negative at this month. At this point, the Bitcoin price was up this month. It did fall a little bit today, helping to contribute to that unprofitability. I once again did a recalculation of what we'd need to see in terms of Bitcoin price for these to become profitable again. You can see right now we need a Bitcoin price of just over $75,000 just to break even on these devices, and that doesn't account for mining difficulty changes and Bitcoin transaction fee changes, which obviously are all often changing as well. So for the time being, I'll continue to keep these running just because I am very bullish on the long-term price appreciation of Bitcoin. And I am very confident we are going to see much, much higher Bitcoin prices in the coming months and years, which in retrospect will make these very profitable. But really, if we continue to see large unprofitability and amounts for these Bitcoin miners, it may make sense for me to just shut these down and just DCA into Bitcoin as opposed to mining. Next, moving to the miner graveyard, no new additions to the mining graveyard this month. This is essentially a list of all the different miners and devices that have either died or have become unprofitable in the 2.5 years that we've been covering this on this channel. I want everyone to keep in mind that not every project is going to work out in the long run. You can see this list is littered with basically every Gold Shell mini box miner I ever purchased, which has obviously been quite disappointing. I personally will not buy another Gold Shell miner at this point. I think they're just ripping people off. But just want you to keep in mind that not every project is going to work out in the long run. And that's one of the reasons I try to diversify into many different projects and not have all my money in one specific mining project, because you never really know which ones are going to work out and which ones will be largely profitable. So I think diversification is a good strategy, at least it has been for me in the 2.5 years that we've been mining on this channel. Next, looking at the ROI or return on investment analysis. Sometimes this is called a break-even analysis. Essentially, we're looking at the cost of each device and its current income to determine how long it would take to recoup your initial cost for this device. We'll start off with the assumptions I'm making so we can level set here. First, the miner fair market value estimates are based on recent comparable miner sales I'm seeing from eBay. In cases where I don't have the price from eBay, we'll take the current manufacturer cost price. In almost all cases, I paid much more for my miners than the prices you'll see here today. And that's just the way Bitcoin and cryptocurrency mining goes. Generally, you see the price of these devices go down over time. Second, current month net income is my actual results minus my expenses. Yours may be different. This is as of a point in time in September of 2024. Miner value and income amounts will vary over time as prices and difficulty changes over time. And then finally, this is not financial advice, and don't use this as your sole justification to purchase a miner or a node. So I have a color coding in column B here. Green, I think, are the top tier projects worthy the most of considering. Yellow, I have some concerns about, and then red projects I would stay away from at this point. So we won't go over all of these here. I just want to highlight some of the top projects that I think are worthy of looking into. So number one, Get Grass. I have this one marked as yellow just because there are risks associated with sharing your bandwidth via a bandwidth sharing app such as Get Grass. There's lots of different bandwidth sharing apps out there. So the reason it's on the top of the list here is because there is no cost associated with this. It is a free app to download, so there's essentially no break-even time. You just have to weigh the risk of downloading an app like this, and we really won't know the earnings potential for this until this project actually goes live. Number two, HiFix GeoNet Space Weather Station. Like you mentioned earlier, I'm extremely bullish on GeoToken, and this project overall, I think it is way on under the radar, and I don't think people really understand what this project is doing. Maybe they haven't done a great job marketing it, and maybe I haven't done a great job explaining it. But at this point, it is a little pricier. I think that kind of keeps people away from this project. You know, $625 is a pretty penny to spend on a device, but it's been a huge moneymaker for those of us who've been in this project for the last several years. Good thing is, if you buy this device now, it is a 4-week delivery to receive your device. Spelling error there. Number three, Weather XM. Like I mentioned earlier, this is basically a weather station you put on your house. My income here is a little bit higher than what you would get if you were to purchase a device today, just because I had beta testnet rewards that I'm receiving on a daily basis, but a nice break-even time at this point of just 118 days. Number 4, the DIMO data miner. Like I mentioned earlier, they have their new DIMO LTE R1 available for pre-order now. So this is a much lower cost than the original Onocoy, which was, I think, just over $300. So half the price, but it'll earn the same rewards as the current DIMO Onocoy. So if you don't already have one of these in your car, I would recommend this. I think DIMO has been a really solid project, and it's been also a huge moneymaker for those of us who have been in this project for the last several years. Step-in, I would stay away from step-in. It's really a Ponzi, and I don't know that you're going to make your money back on that one. Phone farm, if you have some used phones laying around, you may consider starting a phone farm. It's been a real fun experience for me to do phone farming over the last year. I know there's a lot of criticism when I originally made my video about my phone farm. People are saying, oh, you're never going to make your money back. This is stupid. You're only making $1 a day. Well, the Verus token, is up, I think, 1,000%, something like that, since I initially started my phone farm, and it helped contribute to some nice earnings for that. So there's always going to be naysayers who are going to say, oh, this is stupid, this is not the right time to do this. And I think part of Bitcoin mining and cryptocurrency mining is taking some risk when everyone else isn't looking. Number 7, Hive Mapper. This one, like I mentioned, has been disappointing for a lot of us who are waiting on the bees, and it sounds like they haven't started shipping this device yet. But Hive Mapper has also been a big winner for us. I know we got in this project early on this channel, and maybe we're not early on this anymore, but it is one of the few cryptocurrency depin projects that's actually trying to solve real-world problems by mapping the roads of the world. So if you drive a lot, especially if you're like an Uber or a Lyft driver or Uber Eats or something like that, and you drive a lot for your work, I think it could make a lot of sense to get one of these installed in your car, because they're promising this Hive Mapper B to be a very passive experience for people. So it's really a set it and forget it project. At least that's the hope. But you never know with new product launches like this how hands off and passive it's really going to be. Moving down here on the list, here some of the break-evens on some of these other products has gotten pretty abysmal as the price action for these tokens has kind of been in the gutter. So a lot of these projects I would be hesitant to jump into at this point, but it may be fun to speculate. If you do some research on these projects and you feel like there's good potential, you may be able to find a gem in some of these lower tier projects. And then moving down the list, we've got some of our testnet projects. Some to highlight. If you've got a good location where you can install one of these XNET XP6 Pros, it could be a good money maker. I've heard of some people making some real good money being able to deploy in a very populated area. XMiner, I would stay away from that one. That is way too expensive, and I've basically been earning nothing with that for over 2.5 years. Onocoy I think has some potential here, just going live here in the coming months. It's also, I think, an under the radar project similar to GeoNet, and the fact that they're starting to sell their data as well, that could be a good potential long-term bet for us. Winbits sounds interesting. I don't know how they're going to monetize flight tracking. I know there's other people that do that as just a hobby, so I don't know that that's going to be a good long-term potential project, but it is low cost, which made it fun to join when I joined, I think last summer. Sword Chain, low cost. Check out my latest video on Sword Chain. I did some updates. I think some promising changes for that project, and I think the low cost and the fact that they're kind of going on the heels of DIMO could be a good potential winner for Sword Chain. Starplug, I would probably stay away from. I don't know that they're going to be able to monetize what they're doing there. And then Bitcoin mining, I would personally stay away from Bitcoin mining at this point. It's really become a corporate game, and there's not really much room for that home Bitcoin miners anymore. And if you're hosting at a location, you really need to have a very low hosting rate to stay profitable for Bitcoin mining at this point. So I've got discounts for a lot of these different miners in the description below. If you choose to use them, it does help to financially support this channel. So thank you very much in advance if you use them. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next month. Bye.